Welcome to the deep dive, where we try to cut through the complexity of dense information and deliver clear, actionable insights straight to you.
That's the goal.
And if you've ever dreamt of taking your innovative idea global, you probably know that the path to international patent protection can feel less like a journey and more like, well, a maze.
It certainly can seem that way.
Today, we're handing you a critical map, a guide, really, for one of its most important sections.
That's right. This deep dive is part of our ongoing exploration of the Manual of Patent Examining Procedure, MPP. Specifically, we're in Chapter 1800, which guides us through the Patent Cooperation Treaty, or PCT.
The PCT, right.
We're meticulously breaking down each section, one by one. And today we're shining a light on MPEP Section 1879, Preparation of the International Preliminary Examination Report.
Okay, Section 1879. And our mission today is to demystify exactly what that report is and, maybe more importantly, what it means for you, the applicant or inventor. Think of this International Preliminary Examination Report, or IPR, as your indispensable compass. It's guiding you in your quest for patent protection across the globe.
It really is a key guidance document.
It's a pivotal stage, and truly understanding how it's prepared, what it evaluates, and, how it's structured can save you immense time, money, and, frankly, guesswork.
Absolutely. Less guesswork is always good.
We're going to give you those aha moments so you walk away truly well-informed.
Let's dive in.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you've poured your heart and soul into an invention, filed your international application under the PCT, and now you're waiting for that critical piece of feedback.
The one that tells you if your global patent dreams are, well, on the right track.
Exactly. That's where the International Preliminary Examination Report, the IPER, comes in. What exactly is it, and why is it so vital?
Well, at its core, the IPER is a comprehensive evaluation. It's prepared by an International Preliminary Examining Authority, or IPEA.
IPEA, got it.
Officially, it's known as Form PCT IP 409. You might also hear it called the International Preliminary Report on Patentability under Chapter 2 of the PCT. Same thing.
Okay, Chapter 2 report. Makes sense.
Its main job, its primary role, is to give you, the applicant, a robust, informed opinion on whether your invention appears to meet the key patentability criteria.
Appears to meet them, so not a final decision.
Not at all. It's an opinion. This report is your strategic guide, helping you plan your next steps for entering what we call national phases.
Ah, the national phase. That's when you actually go into specific countries, right? Like the US, Europe, Japan.
Precisely. To secure an actual patent in those places, the IPR helps you decide if and where it's worth spending the money to do that.
So it's definitely not just a formality. It's a strategic document, a big one.
Huge. It shapes your whole international strategy.
And you mentioned key patentability criteria. What specifically is this report scrutinizing in an invention? What are those core hurdles?
Right. The report rigorously evaluates each and every claim in your application against three fundamental criteria. You need to clear all three.
Okay, what are they?
First, novelty. Is your invention genuinely new? Has it ever been disclosed before your filing date anywhere in the world? That's what we call prior art.
Prior art. Anything public, basically.
Essentially, yes. Publications, existing products, public uses. Second, inventive step. This is often the trickiest one.
I've heard that. Also called non-obviousness.
Exactly. Non-obviousness. Would your invention have been obvious to someone skilled in that particular technical field at the time you made it? Is there a real inventive leap?
So not just a minor tweak someone would naturally think of?
Right. It needs that spark of non-obviousness. And third, industrial applicability. Can your invention actually be made or used in any kind of industry? Does it have a practical application?
Okay. Novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability. The big three.
The holy trinity, as you said.
And if I had to guess, that inventive step, the non-obviousness part, that's often the toughest nut to crack, isn't it?
You're spot on. While all three are vital, inventive step is indeed where many applications face their biggest challenge during examination.
So the feedback there is really gold.
Absolutely. The examiner's detailed feedback on inventive step in the IPER is probably your most valuable early indicator. It shows where you might need to strengthen your arguments or maybe amend your claims before going national.
Right. But again, just an indicator.
Crucially, yes, it's vital to understand this IPR does not represent a final conclusion on patentability under any specific national law. It's preliminary. It's international. It's guidance.
Not a guarantee of getting a patent in, say, Germany or the US.
Not at all. It's just guidance.
That distinction is really paramount. Guidance, not a guarantee. Can you give us a concrete example? How might an examiner phrase it in the report if there's an issue, say, with inventive step?
Sure. Let's say the examiner concludes there's a lack of inventive step for one of your claims, maybe
Right.
claim 1. They won't just say it's
They
obvious.
have to back it up.
They have to. They'll provide specific reasoning. A common form paragraph might state something like, Claim 1 lacks an inventive step under PCT Article 33(3) as being obvious over document A in view of document B.
Okay, so they name specific documents.
Exactly. It's not just jargon. It clearly highlights how two distinct pieces of prior art, maybe document A is an old patent and document B is a scientific paper, can be combined, in the examiner's view, to make your claim 1 obvious to a skilled person.
Ah, I see. So it tells you exactly what you're up against.
Precisely. This level of detail gives you a clear understanding of the challenge to that specific claim and identifies the exact prior art documents you need to analyze and potentially argue against.
That's incredibly useful feedback then. Okay, so with those critical criteria in mind, applicants are probably wondering, what's the timeline? When can they expect this report? Are there strict deadlines?
Oh yes, there are very strict timelines dictated by Article 35 of the PCT. Generally, the IPER must be completed within 28 months from the earliest priority date of your application.
28 months from priority? That seems like a while, but I guess international procedures take time.
They do. However, authorities like the USPTO, when they act as the IPEA, often aim to get this preliminary processing done a bit earlier.
Really? How much earlier?
Their internal practice aims for the 27-month mark.
Oh, okay. Why the extra month?
Well, it ensures timely communication with you, the applicant. It gives you that crucial month to review the IPER before your national phase entry deadlines typically start kicking in around 30 or 31 months.
That makes sense. Gives you breathing room to strategize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the report itself, it's based on the application as it was originally filed.
Plus any changes you made.
Right, including any amendments you might have submitted during the international phase. Those are known formally as amendments under Article 19 or Article 34 of the PCT.
Okay.
And the report always includes relevant citations, those prior art documents we mentioned, and concise explanations for every conclusion reached. It's all laid out.
You mentioned citations and prior art again. That brings up something called mandatory top-up searches. What are those? Why do you need another search after the initial one?
Good question. Top-up searches are a critical safeguard in the process. Think of them as a final check,
To make sure nothing was missed.
or rather, to make sure nothing new has popped up. They're mandatory searches conducted to identify any intermediate prior art. That's stuff that might have become publicly available after your initial international search report was established, but before the examiner starts the preliminary examination.
Ah, because innovation doesn't stop just because your application is filed.
Precisely. The world keeps moving. New things get published. So it's essential to catch anything relevant that emerged while your application was processing internationally. It ensures the opinion is based on the most current state-of-the-art possible.
That makes perfect sense. You need the latest info before making those big national filing decisions. Are they always required?
Generally, yes, they're required, unless there's a very clear reason they'd serve no useful purpose.
Like what?
For instance, if the entire application is about subject matter that's excluded from examination anyway, like a mathematical theory, or if the claims are just so unclear or vague that a meaningful search or analysis is impossible. But usually, yes, a top-up search happens.
Okay. Now, you've mentioned a search report and a written opinion and then this IPR. It can get a bit confusing. Can you clarify the difference again? What separates the initial search report from the opinion that leads to the IPR?
Right, that's a crucial distinction, and yeah, it trips people up. The initial international search report, the ISR, often form PCT ISA 210. That's purely factual.
Just a list.
Exactly. Its sole purpose is to identify potentially relevant prior art documents. It's just a list. It contains absolutely no opinions, no reasoning, no explanations about patentability, zero evaluation.
Okay, so the ISR finds the documents. Where does the thinking come in?
That happens in the written opinion of the International Searching Authority, or what ISA, that's issued alongside the ISR, usually, as per PCT Rule 43b-1.
Ah, the what is.
That's the precursor to the IPER if you request Chapter 2 examination. It's where the examiner first gives their preliminary non-binding opinion on your claims against novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability based on the art found in the ISR.
So the WISA is the first opinion and the IPR builds on that.
Precisely. The IPER builds directly on that initial assessment, but it also takes into account any arguments or amendments you might have filed in response to the WISA during the Chapter 2 process. It's a more
Like-
developed opinion.
Got it. ISR lists art, WOISA gives first opinion, IPER gives the more developed opinion after you've had a chance to respond.
You've got it. And there's another detail. Examiners doing the IPER are also specifically trained to look for certain tricky types of published documents.
Like what?
Documents published later than your international filing date, but which themselves claim priority from an application filed earlier than your priority date. These can sometimes become prior art in certain countries later on.
Oh, wow. That sounds complicated.
It can be. The IPER will specifically call attention to these under Rule 64.3, just as a heads up, ensuring you're aware of these potential future landmines.
Okay, so the IPER is clearly a detailed, thoughtful document. How is it actually structured for the applicant? Is there a standard format to make it easier to digest?
Yes, absolutely. It uses a highly standardized structure organized into a series of numbered boxes. Each box serves a very specific purpose.
Boxes, like sections.
Exactly, like sections on a form. This consistency is a huge benefit. It means no matter which IPEA prepares the report, USPTO, EPO, wherever it looks familiar, and you know where to find specific information, it ensures clarity worldwide.
Okay, let's walk through the key boxes then. What's box I?
Right, box I, legal basis. This is foundational. It identifies the legal basis of the report, confirms if the application they examined was in the original language or a translation.
Important if you filed in, say, Japanese and provided an English translation.
Crucial. And box I also lists all the materials that were considered, things like your original claims, any amended claims you submitted, replacement description pages, drawings, everything they looked at.
So it's like the report's audit trail or version control?
That's a great way to put it, your quick check to make sure they worked off your latest version.
Okay, what's next? Box 2.
Box 2, priority claims. This section is critical. It deals with your claim to priority from an earlier application. It addresses any issues found.
Issues like?
Like problems with missing priority documents, or maybe the documents were filed but were invalid for some reason. This is a surprisingly common pitfall.
Really? People mess up priority claims.
It happens. For instance, if the International Bureau, that's WIPO, declares a priority claim not to be considered for PCT procedure, it's noted right here in box 2.
Ouch.
Or maybe you filed a certified copy of your earlier foreign application, but you didn't actually formally claim priority in your PCT request form or application datasheet. Box 2 flags that discrepancy.
So it's an early warning for potentially losing your priority date.
Exactly, a potentially catastrophic error. Box 2 gives you a heads up.
Okay, vital check. What's box 3?
Box 3. When no opinion is given. This box is used in specific, usually problematic situations where the IPA simply cannot provide an opinion on patentability for some or all claims.
Why would that happen?
Maybe the claims are completely unclear, like just gobbledygook. Or they aren't supported by the description at all. Or perhaps, in rare cases, there wasn't even an international search done.
So if you see stuff in box 3, that's bad news.
It's usually a significant red flag, yes. It indicates fundamental problems with your application that need urgent attention before you can even get to the substance of patentability.
Got it. Moving on to box 4.
Box 4, unity of invention. This deals with whether your application covers a single, general, inventive concept.
Ah, the unity issue, like trying to patent 2 completely different inventions in one application.
Pretty much. Think of it like packing for a trip. The examiner might say, hey, you've got summer clothes and ski gear in the same suitcase. These are 2 separate trips. Box 4 documents if they found multiple inventions, any restrictions they required, or if you paid extra fees to have additional inventions examined.
And they won't examine something that wasn't searched initially, right?
Correct. An important point.
Yeah.
The IPEA will generally not conduct a preliminary examination on inventions or alleged inventions that were not searched by the International Searching Authority back in the ISRWO stage.
Makes sense. Keep it focused. Now, you said box V was crucial.
Arguably the most crucial section. Box V, the core findings. This is the heart of the report. This is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, what's in there?
Box V presents the detailed reasoning behind the examiner's determinations on novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability for each claim they examined.
The detailed reasoning, not just a yes or no.
Absolutely not. It must cite the supporting prior art documents where appropriate and meticulously explain how those documents impact your claims. For example, it would clearly detail how paragraph X in document Y anticipates claim 2, showing lack of novelty, or how document A combined with document B makes claim 3 obvious.
So this is where you really need to focus your attention.
This is where you focus your strategic response. You need to understand the examiner's precise arguments and the specific references they rely on. Box V is your roadmap for what you need to address, overcome, or argue against to improve your chances in the national phases.
Extremely important. What about the later boxes?
Right. After the core findings, Box 6 addresses other disclosures. This section mentions things like non-written disclosures, maybe a public presentation or any publications that came out after your filing date but might still be relevant contextually.
Okay. And box 7?
Box 7 is for formal defects. Any unresolved issues with the formalities of the application are flagged here. Maybe minor errors or inconsistencies in the drawings or description that need fixing under PCT Rule 91.1.
So 6 and 7 are more about housekeeping. Dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
Largely, yes. While not always as critical for strategy as Box V, you shouldn't ignore them. Neglecting formal defects can still trip you up later in the national phase.
Good point. What about box 8?
Box 8 provides comments on claim clarity and support. This specifically addresses whether your claims are clear, concise, and crucially adequately supported by the detailed description in your application.
So it's not enough for the invention to be patentable. The claims have to be well written and backed up by what you wrote.
Exactly. Your claims define the scope of your protection. They need to be crystal clear, and everything claimed must be fully described and enabled in the specification. This is absolutely vital for getting a strong, enforceable patent later. Box 8 flags any issues here.
Yeah, makes sense. And the last one, box 9.
Finally, Box 9 is for finalizing the report. It includes administrative details like the examiner's name, the date, and information about any annexes attached to the report, like amended claims.
Any other key points in box 9?
Yes. It also clarifies the scope of the examination conducted. For instance, if you filed amended claims under Article 34, but those amendments went beyond the scope of your original disclosure, essentially adding new subject matter.
Which is generally not allowed.
Right. Box IX would clarify that the examiner disregarded the non-compliant new matter and based the opinion only on the parts of the claims that were supported by the original application. It maintains consistency.
Wow. That is incredibly comprehensive. A detailed feedback mechanism, truly.
It really is like a finely tuned diagnostic report, as you said. Each box zeroes in on a specific aspect of your invention's patentability health on the international stage.
It sounds like MPEP Section 1879 really ensures these reports are done right.
Exactly. It ensures that these international preliminary examination reports are prepared with utmost thoroughness, consistency, and within those strict procedural bounds.
And for you, the applicant, what's the bottom line?
The bottom line is you get reliable, structured guidance. You can then make informed, strategic decisions before you commit potentially significant resources, time, and money to entering the national phase in various countries.
So it's really about bringing clarity to that complex global system.
Precisely. Helping ensure that your innovation has the best possible chance for protection worldwide based on a solid understanding of its strengths and weaknesses early on.
And that wraps up our deep dive into MPEP Section 1879. We've seen how the International Preliminary Examination Report meticulously evaluates claims, novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability.
And how its standardized box-by-box structure provides that invaluable, actionable guidance for shaping your international patent strategy.
Understanding the nuances of this report, what each box means, it's truly key to navigating the global patent landscape effectively, isn't it?
It really is. It's about much more than just, a piece of paper. It's about empowering you to make confident, informed choices for your innovation's future on the world stage.
Indeed. So as you consider the meticulous preparation and the detailed feedback embedded in each IPER, here's a thought to mull over.
Okay.
How might the consistent application, or maybe even the subtle interpretations, of these international patentability criteria, novelty, inventive step, industrial applicability through this IPER process, how might that actually impact the trajectory of global innovation over time? Could it subtly shape which kinds of inventions succeed internationally and which ones maybe struggle to get protection?